If you're unable to tell by my voice, I am British, and as you may know, the British are well known for liking talking about the weather. But if there's one thing we enjoy talking about even more, it's extreme weather. And we have had an extreme amount of rainfall over the last 48 hours. And I thought I'd take a turn about the property and have a look at the ravages that it has taken. I'm starting at Will's workshop and our electricity shed. So you may be able to see the little stream we've got going down the hill here. So I thought I'd check out some of the more typical places which get affected by the rain, and I thought you may as well come along with me. The rain's actually eased up now just, and I think more or less it's blown over. You may have to cast your mind back because this would have happened a couple of weeks ago by the time you're watching it, but other places in Australia on the east coast have had it a lot worse than we have, and we're very fortunate in the sense that up on this hill with the slopey ground, the water really just drains away. Anyway, first things first, take a look at the pond. Now, as I have mentioned previously, the good thing about the pond is that it's not possible really for it to ever get any higher than this, because it's got an inlet which feeds it from our neighbour's pond, but it also has an outlet which takes the water away down the slope and diverts it to the creek at the bottom of our garden. So luckily we never really have to worry about this swamping the garden. That's probably a 3 or 4 metre drop, so to be fair it would have to get quite full to affect the wood store. But what we can look at is the little stream which feeds it and the little stream which exits it. As you can see, that is pretty wild. I am wearing my trusty Angler wellies, but even so, I'm not sure I'm game to cross that. That looks pretty ferocious. And actually, let's hope the gunnerer doesn't mind being submerged, because it is part of the torrent now. Whoa. Yeah, that is pretty fierce, that. The force of that water is pretty full on. And it did splash up the top of my boot. Anyway, I wanted to come and have a look at the gunnerer here. It's not really loving that, I don't think. Anyway, this won't keep up for that long. Let's go and have a look at the outlet. Compacted tea tree, which I will come back and deal with tomorrow. It is actually surprisingly high on this side. I've never really seen the pond get up to this level before. That's quite interesting, actually. I'm surprised about that. In another world we'd have a little bench here, and so it'd be pretty, you'd be able to dip your feet into the water. This is what I was interested in. I've never ever seen our outlet like this before. Obviously I've seen water draining, but normally it's pretty reasonable. Again, because I know how it slopes, I don't think I can tackle that even in wellies. To be fair, one of the things Will and I would like to do is put a bridge across here, precisely for this reason, but also because it is actually quite difficult coming down that slope and up again. That side in particular is very, very steep. So a little bridge would make life a bit easier from that point of view. That's one of the projects on our list of things to do. I'm definitely not game to cross that, so here it is. Let's go and have a look at where it comes out and goes under our drive. We have a little ditch system here which goes along the side of the drive, which I did dig out and try to improve. It does work, you can see, but with this sort of volume of water it does get breached in places. So this is the other side of the outlet which goes under our drive. So our pond is just there. We were just looking at the outlet which is there, and then it tumbles down this hill, goes through a pipe, comes out the other side and spills off towards the creek down this continuation of the little gully. So there can only be one thing for it. Let's go and have a look at the creek. Well, in a first for me, this may be as far as I'm able to go. You may have seen me create this new footpath, or re-establish the footpath to the creek, which is here, and our swimming pool is in this area. But as I go down the slope and approach the footpath, you can see that it has now become a raging torrent. So this is now a stream. If I head back up the way, because there's a little network of footpaths down here in the creek walk, which is probably my favourite part of the whole property. To orientate you, the drive is there, and that's the Mr. Darcy walk, if you know that. If I head back up the hill and then go down this other little footpath, you'll get another view of that. So all of this is submerged. That's normally a footpath. And down this other little one, this is where the water from the pond goes through the tube under our drive and down the gully and comes out here. And as you may be able to see, it's totally flooding this part of the creek walk. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to the creek from this side of the drive. I might have to go back and approach it from a different angle. As I have mentioned before, luckily for us, the creek drains into a waterfall, so we can be pretty sure it's never going to get much higher than that. Another casualty of the rain, so I will come and deal with that tomorrow. I've come, as I've said, to approach the creek from a different angle. But I'm getting to this point, and really this is not passable in my wellies, because I know that the way the ground slopes in certain places, I would be up to my knees or higher in it, so I'm not going to venture any further forward than this. Let's go and have a look at some of the other places. I'm now at the top of the Mr. Darcy walk. So the Mr. Darcy walk is there, the drive is there, and the creek is further down the hill. Those of you who've been with me a while will know this is the place where he built the bridge after the original one burnt down, and we have the little gate onto our neighbour's orchard. I've come this way because this again is another place where the pond from the neighbouring property feeds our pond through basic gravity, and this is one of the newer sections of footpaths that I created, heading up there on a loop back to the centre path. Now we always knew this flooded, so we know that we're going to have to put in some sort of bridge here, but I thought I'd just come and have a look at it whilst it's quite so wet. And again, if we put in a bridge, we're looking at quite a big structure, I think, to be able to navigate this in the rain. And if I make my way back, because I'm not crossing that, we can go and stand on the current bridge. Have a look at how the water's looking from that vantage point. It sounds a lot more sedate down here. And luckily the water has not risen above the level of the bridge. Sounds pretty though. This is the last place I wanted to come and have a look at today. I don't suppose I normally show you, but this is the Firebreak on the far side of the house. This is where I head up to process the firewood, but it in and of itself acts like a river whenever there's heavy rain, and so the ground beneath me is saturated, and you can probably see, well, you can possibly see the water there wending its way all the way from the top of the hill, again onwards and down towards the creek. That is one of the advantages of being on a slope, but one of the reasons I came to have a look at this is because I was hoping to maybe head up the hill and process some wood tomorrow, but I have skidded in this section on less wet ground in Will's ute than this. So I'm now thinking there is actually a very real chance I won't make it up the hill, even in Will's four-wheel drive, so I might have to scratch that idea and do something else with my time tomorrow.